and it's a good morning to the Gelding on an overcast day where I am, Gelding, but looking forward to a great day of racing at Flemington.
Yes, good morning, Professor. Good morning, viewers. A rather nippy morning, Professor.
Winter is with us, Gelding.
Yes, it is indeed, but here at Caulfield South, it's overcast, but or a bit grey, I should say, rather than overcast, but no wind. And at Flemington today, we've got a good 4-track, Professor.
Yeah, with the rail out 8 metres.
Fair way the rail out. They're protecting that in the track.
Yeah, I don't know what for, Gelding, but anyway. Last time they raced at Flemington, the rail was out 5 metres.
Yeah, they kept pushing it out.
Yeah, so, but there was no bias then, and on the straight 6, you can win from anywhere. So hopefully the course will show no bias and run true to form. Yeah.
Just on that, Professor, why did they build Sandown with 2 tracks? Wasn't it to race during the winter months and, just protect the main tracks like Caulfield and Flemington? But I haven't seen a Saturday meeting out at Sandown for a long, long time.
It's probably a little bit like VFL Park, Gelding. People don't go out there.
Yeah, but you can't get to the races at the moment, Professor. So
no, it wouldn't matter, would it?
No, it wouldn't really matter.
All right, Gelding. What are your 2 red hot tips for today's meeting?
Well, Professor, we've got a couple of specials for the listeners, so hopefully we can get away to another winning day. I like race 2, number 2, Lavina, trained by Lenny Smith and written by Damien Oliver. Now, Professor, I know you're worried about Damien Oliver, but let me just say it's not the favourite. I was worried about the favourite, number 3, Snickerdoodle Dandy, ridden by Jamie Carr. But this Lavina, trained by Lenny Smith, first up, it won at the Warrnambool Carnival quite convincingly. Ran 5th second up, so we'll let that one go as the second up syndrome. And let's see how it bounces back today, Professor. Round about the odds of 310, 320. We can get at the moment. So let's go that way, and let's hope Damien Oliver gets us away to a good start, even though I think we might be having a bet in an earlier race, Professor.
Hopefully it'll be an excellent start. Yeah, I had noted down Snickerdoodle Dandy, ridden by Jamie Carr. So that was, if I was going to have a bet in that race, that's what I'd be on.
Yeah. Look, Professor, it was a bit 50-50. I think this Lavina's got a beautiful turn of pace, and we'll see how we go today. Might have to review that. The good thing about racing, Professor, you can review it on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we can review it on a weekly basis. Well, for those of the viewers who want to, they can take your tip and my tip as a quinella or duet.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that idea, Professor.
Gelding, well, I've got you there. We should send a cheerio to a long-time fan of That's Racing and somebody who follows our tips religiously. And we joke about him having a paper bag to give us at some stage for all the winnings. And that's Cooter from Morty Alec. Hasn't been well over the last week and a half, and we wish him well and hope for a speedy recovery.
Yes, always good to enjoy the company of David, and which we've done many, many times, Professor. Always good. And David, while you're a bit off at the moment, we wish you all the best and hope you get back sooner. And looking forward to catching up for Chinese when you can break open that brown paper bag.
Well, maybe he'll buy us lunch, Gelding.
Well, we can only hope so, Professor.
All right, what's your other tip today, Gelding?
Well, a bit of an omen bet, Professor. For you, race 6, number 8, Way to Go, Paula. But let me tell you, there's I think this horse, very good horse. and should be winning today. Trained by Peter Stokes, one of your favourite trainers, and of course ridden by Sports Fans Radio's own, and that's Racing's own Jamie Carr. So this horse dropping back from a 9th in a listed race in the Adelaide Carnival, after previously running 2nd in a listed race over there and winning first up, Professor. So in a rather open race, round about the $4 mark, I think a good each way bet is Way to Go Paula. And also to our listeners, I think there's another possible Quinella in this race, Professor, with number 1, Mark of the Man. So Way to Go Paula with Mark of the Man.
There you go.
And I'm sure someone like Brett from Roval and Schooner will be having a bit of a giggle at that one.
They probably will, Gelding. They probably will. I thought a good place bet, not a win bet, a good place bet in that race would be horse number 5, Michigan.
Yep. Damien Lane, Mike Moroney, Professor. On the move, as I said, it's a very difficult race.
Yes.
The reason I like Way to Go Paula is dropping back in class to a quality race rather than a listed race, the Adelaide Guineas. But Michigan will be right in it, Professor. So a good, as you said, a good each way place bet.
All right, Gelding.
What do you like, Professor?
Okay, well, I've bookended. So let's look at race 1 over 2,000.
Put the pressure on me to get the bets on early.
Yeah, you better get the bets on early, Gelding.
Yeah, the 11:40.
Yeah, well, I can't go past Jamie Carr. I always look at race 1.
Yes.
And I gave it several ticks. Grand Promenade, horse 2. 14 starts for 5 wins and 5 places. Win rate of 36%, place rate of 71%, Gelding. Jamie Carr's win rates dropped down, though, over the last week. Career rating of 17%. Over the last 50, 18%. Now, that's down from 26% the last time we looked at it, Gelding. But, and this is the big but, over her last 9 rides, she's been placed in 66% of them. So You tell me which jockey you'd bet on when in 2/3 of her races, she's in the top 3 placings. Now, punters are going to recover their money and make some pretty good dividends if they follow her. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Professor, if you look at the, she's a Victorian leading jockey, and just for the figures for you, Professor, 441 races or rides this season in the city for 89 wins and 206 places.
Yeah.
So that's almost getting up to 300 wins or places out of 440 rides, Professor.
Yeah. So
that just speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Well, we could call her Maid Nicholas or something like that, couldn't we? Armour Guard. Your money's safe with her.
Well, Professor, one of the big 4 banks. She pays better interest than the big 4 banks.
Yeah.
And look, for the listeners, they may think, we're just picking, Jamie Carr horses and that because she's going well. Well, that's exactly right, Professor. When you look at something like that, apart from the ability of the horses, you've got to have a look at the ability of the jockey on board. So, and as you said, in some races where horses are missed, if Jamie Carr had been aboard on it, she may be the difference from getting a horse from 4th to 2nd or 3rd, that half a length. Yes.
The horse trained by Kieran Murray and David Eustace, who over the last 50 have got a win rate of 20%, which is not bad for training, 1 in 5.
Yep.
The danger I thought in that race was South Pacific, but South Pacific's been scratched. So it made me even more certain to back Grand Promenade. It won at Sandown over the same distance at the start of May. So form's good. and that's my recommendation to punters. Start your day off. It won't be paying all that much. Might get out to about $1.80 gelding, but hopefully it'll be money in the bank to start the day for the punters.
Yes, Professor. Look, a fantastic bet to start the day. I love the thought of it. Best trainers, best jockey on a horse that's in very, very good form. They're proven they've scratched what we thought would have been the danger to it. That may have been, they may be saving it for another race, or maybe worried Grand Promenade or beat it. A good way, may I suggest, a good way for the punters to start their parlays, Professor.
Yeah, excellent, Gelding. All right, and the bookend.
And your second tip,
yeah, the
big weight,
race
Professor.
9. Sorry?
11:40 to 4:35.
Yeah, we're waiting around a while, but look, I can watch the other races during the day, Gelding, so I'll have plenty to do.
Sure, there's plenty of good football on and good races on, Professor.
All right, race 9 over 2,000 metres, Gelding. It's a benchmark 84. Horse 10, 5th position, and we hope that it doesn't come in 5th position. We hope it comes in 1st position. 13 runs for 2 wins and 5 placings with a win rate of 15% and a placing rate of 54%. What I liked about it, Gelding, is it's, as you talked about in race 6 with Way to Go Paula, this horse is dropping back in class. The other thing is second up, which it is today. It's 2 wins from 2 starts second up. So I think the form points to 5th position. And if I was looking for a threat to it, it would be horse 13, Excel Man, ridden by Jamie Carr.
Yeah, it's a very hard race, Professor, but did hear Mick Kent Jr., excuse me, Professor, on the radio this morning. And he gave this horse a bit of a real push. Said it's a beautiful grey horse. As it said, second up form's good. It's a nice big horse. So he says, with all the work, it needs a run. As I said, dropping back in class to an 84, round about the $5-6, Professor. Again, a very good each way bet, and something to add to the parlays after hopefully a winner in race 1, 2 and 6, looking at a nice each way value in the last race, Professor.
Yeah, I think so, Gelding. And
I like your tips today, Professor.
Sorry?
I like your tips today.
Thanks, Gelding. All right, now let's go to the Professor's Parlay.
A very successful Professor's Parlay.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 legs up last week, Gelding.
Oh, and we got the racing leg up, Professor.
Yeah. Oh, dear. And it was a leg that, as Paul Deligan said last Sunday, the last leg syndrome got us.
Yes. Can be the way, Professor, but they should have won, shouldn't they?
They should have.
The form,
Just
again,
throw
Professor, I like
the form
the
out the window, Gelding.
But I do like the parlay today, Professor.
All right, so we've got race 1, horse 2, Grand Promenade, which, Gelding, is your and my agreed bet of the day. Which
As
will
we
be
said.
great start for the parlay.
Yes.
Into Melbourne Storm, the home team to beat Gold Coast Titans. Melbourne Storm currently showing $1.07. Haven't put a foot wrong. I don't think that the outs to the State of Origin team will affect them. Certainly affected Penrith Panthers last night, who lowered their colours for the first time for the year to West's Tigers. That was an interesting match, Gelding, and I'm going to like to talk to Paul Deligan about it tomorrow, because, as we said, throw form out the window when players go out with State of Origin duty.
Professor, I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was watching more the AFL game, which was very good to see.
Oh, was there an AFL game last night?
I think we saw the real deal last night in Melbourne, Professor, as I said to you a little bit earlier. They are the real deal this year, the D's. So, it'll be very interesting. So I missed that game. So I'll be interested to hear what Gelding says about robbing players to play State of Origin, or maybe an interesting question again off the format of that racing. Should they have buys on the weekend of State of Origin, Professor?
Well, you keep your powder dry, Gelding.
Yeah.
And note that question to ask Paul Delegan tomorrow.
Look forward to talking to the giraffe tomorrow, Professor.
All right. And we'll parlay Grand Promenade and Melbourne Storm into, how could you go past the Melbourne Derby in soccer, Victory playing City, Melbourne City on top of the ladder with a goal difference of +26, Melbourne Victory with the worst defence in the league at -29. Melbourne City showing $1.80, Gelding, so I thought I would jump all over that.
Oh, Professor, I like it. I like it.
And all up, the parlay showing fairly good odds of 5-2, Gelding.
Oh, I like it, Professor. Could be a nice little successful Professor's parlay.
Well, we look forward to that.
And as we say, Professor, small fish are
sweet, very sweet. Now, Gelding, tomorrow we've got Sports Fan Radio, all the usual suspects, and plenty to talk about, including some interesting news from the US about the winner of the Kentucky Derby suddenly showing up with a positive drug test.
Yes, we got the excuse me, the post from the judge, Bob Buffett, the Kentucky Derby winner, disqualified for use of drugs. Bob Buffett, 2 years suspension, Professor. That's huge news over there. The biggest race in America,
yes,
one of the biggest races in the world. Their leading trainer is probably like a combination of Chris Waller, Darren Weir. You know, like he's that successful and all that. A 2 year suspension. Yeah, you got to wonder whether he'll come back out of this, a damaged reputation. I raised the point, and I'll be interested to see what the judge says. Melodina Spirit stud fee. Now it's had the Kentucky Derby taken off. Yes, they can advertise it won the Derby, but was disqualified. It still hasn't got it on the resume anymore, Professor.
No,
so, that may be a stud fee that drops from 100,000 a year to 50, 100,000 a serve to 50,000 a serve. Yeah. And these horses serve 200 horses. It's a big loss of income.
It is a big loss of income, Gelding, and it'll be interesting to see, because it's in Dan Butterley's backyard. It'll be interesting to see what Dan has to say about it all, and he can show us his knowledge of racing.
Yes. I don't know whether racing's Dan's specialty, but he's very astute man and covers a lot of things, and it would be a huge story, Professor. This is one of racing's biggest scandals, when you talk about the Arc in France and the Epsom Derby and our Melbourne Cup. This is like the Melbourne Cup. It's like the big Faloo, when in 69, when the favourite got scratched from the Caulfield Cup because it was dope. Like, this is multiply that by 5.
Yeah.
So, but looking forward to the show, Professor.
Yeah. All right, Gelding. Well, until next Saturday morning, it's good luck.
And good punting.